The mystery behind La Jolla's $47 million sale. My name is Chris Astolero with LEARNin Local Live. Welcome to our show. All right, happy Friday. How's everybody doing today?
Doing awesome. Tired from yesterday's mixer we finally had and got to meet everybody in person. That was so much fun.
At a beautiful location.
Yeah, great to see everybody over at the Park Hyatt Aviara Resort, our first ever mixer. We got a chance to meet everyone. So great to see Tracy, Martin, and Nicole. How was everything? How's your week going so far?
It's great. Got the weekend.
It's flying by.
So a lot of driving, a lot of deals.
A lot of deals going on. A lot of things going on in the market that all of our viewers need to be aware of, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got a great show for you today. We've got this amazing article that we're going to talk about, this $47 million La Jolla property that just sold. That's amazing. I'm wondering how they were able to appraise that at that price, right? We've got off and on market deals that Martin's going to be talking about today. That's going to be great. We're looking forward to that. And Tracy, Hassie, we've got some great events for networking that we're going to be talking about today so that people can go out and network with these professionals. So what is LEARNin Local Live? LEARNin Local Live is a live platform. So please make sure to comment below, send us your questions and comments so that you can be a part of the show. What LEARNin Local Live does is they highlight real estate professionals in your area. We present off-market deals, and who doesn't want off-market deals? If you're an investor, if you're a first-time home buyer, you want to get the best deals out there on the market. And we present networking opportunities so that you can meet these local professionals, and that way they can guide and advise you to make the best decisions in real estate. More importantly, what we do is we educate, we empower, and we inspire you to make the best decisions and be successful in real estate. Now, this show is not only for real estate investors or realtors, it's also for everyone who is going to be purchasing real estate in the near future, who wants to get educated and knowledgeable about what's going on in the San Diego real estate market. They're curious, and we want to provide that information to them in real time and live. We want to give you the truth so that you can make strategic decisions. Don't believe everything you read on the net, right? Because we're here to provide it to you. You may be wondering, how do we do all of this? Well, we connect, we collaborate, and we create content with local professionals who are dealing with investors, sellers, buyers, writing contracts, and going through all the changes and challenges day in and day out. So we provide you the real deals. We provide you real people, real deals in real time. So that's our show. So great to have everybody today. Tracy, Martin, Nicole, so great. I'm super excited of what we have in store for you today. Let's kick off the next segment of the show and meet our local influencers. And the reason why we bring our local influencers here is because they're live. They're not pre-recorded. I have no issues with pre-recordings, but they're here, they're live. They can answer your questions right here, right now. So grateful to be on the show. My name is Chris Astolero with Exchange Resources. And being the local area expert in 1031 exchanges is what LEARNin Local Live does for me. They spotlight me as that expert. And they can do that for you. If you're interested in definitely being a part of LEARNin Local Live, please text us, email us, call us, and we'll be happy to get you involved with our growing community. What we're going to do for you is create content for you. I don't have time to create all this content for me so that I can upload it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. They do this all for me. So this is an example of what they can do for you. Client has lived in the property for at least 2 years, right? And if they sell it, they have the 121 tax exclusion, right? It's either $250,000 or $500,000. But listen to this. If they turn it into a rental property, they've lived in it for 2 years, they turn it into a rental for 2 years, and before year 5, they turn around and sell it, guess what? They have the benefit of both the 121 tax exclusion, the $500,000, and let's say it's a $1.5 million property that they're selling. The first $500,000 of that $1.5 million is tax-free, and the other $1 million, they can roll it into other properties, no tax. All right, I love it. I love what we can do for everyone, right? So I want to introduce our local influencers. Let's start off with Tracy Hassey. Please introduce yourself and your company.
Hey, good morning, everybody. TGIF, Tracy Hassey here, Super Connector with Ticor Escrow Services. I have a quick question for you. How are you protecting your clients' money and information and your commission from wire fraud and cybercrime? It's real, it's happening every day. So I'm here for you to connect. I'm here for you as a resource. Once again, Tracy Hassey, Ticor Escrow Services, the leaders at safeguarding your real estate deals. And we're backed by a Fortune 300 company with escrow officers that are the best in the industry. So cheers to your success. Let's have some fun today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tracy. Nicole, so great to see you last night. Always great to see you. Please introduce yourself and your company.
Thank you, Chris. Hey guys, it's Nicole Turner. I'm here at South State Next Gen Realty. My superpower is turning clients' successes or stresses, into absolute successes. Since 2006, you guys, there is so much fun in the life that I live. Just my passion is to serve those people at the high level, pull off those top sales, get those things done that people tell you can't be done. Contact me if I can ever help you. Thanks, Chris.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nicole. Welcome. And Martin, please introduce yourself and your company.
Once again, thanks, Chris. But yeah, my name is Martin Magana. I'm with RMS Real Estate Investments. And if you're looking for any off-market deals in the San Diego or North County area, look no further than RMS Real Estate Investments. Here at RMS, we're kind of trying to change the name of the game, how wholesalers are portrayed by both agents and end buyers, and how some of them can be beneficial to you and your business. I'm licensed, or we keep our deals very lean, so we make sure that the money and the profit really goes to the end buyer, and that not everyone operates with the level of with the lack of transparency that a lot of these bigger wholesale companies have. So we're trying to change the name of the game, RMS Real Estate Investments.
Great. Thank you, Martin. Welcome. Great to see you again last night as well, too. And Claudia, please introduce yourself. This is the first time we've met, so please go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Chris. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm honored. I started Copernicus International Realty back in 2009. I'm originally from Austria, so that's where the international component comes in. And we really have the client in the center of our universe, a nod to Nicholas Copernicus. And I look forward to being here and discussing the topics in this podcast.
Thank you, Claudia. Great to meet you. And Will, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. I'm really excited to be on this show. My name is Will Schmall, and I am the founder of Appraisals by Will. We specialize in non-lending appraisal services, but as we all know, mortgage rates are dropping, so I'm sure we all have questions what that does to your property's value. If you have any questions like that, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. But I would just like to say thank you, and I'm really excited to be on this show today and dive into our topic.
Great to have you here, Will. And next, we have Dylan. Welcome to our show for the first time, Dylan. Great to see you again.
Hey, guys. Excuse me. Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, part of this podcast, to learn together, collaborate together. A little bit about me. I'm a residential real estate agent here in San Diego, partnered with Mike Blair Realty Group. We've had the honor to help over 300 families win in real estate in one of the most competitive markets in the country. So if you're looking to win, let me know and I'll help you out.
Fantastic, everybody. So everybody, welcome to our show. These are our local area influencers. These are our spotlighted real estate professionals. So all of our viewers, please reach out to them, comment, send out questions so that you can be a part of our show. And then that way you can kind of dig into their brain what it is that they can help you with in the future. I'm super excited to move on to the next segment of our show, our LEARNin Local Insights.
guys, Nicole Turner here. We are walking into insights with that $47 million sale. We are in a world of what the heck is going on, and we've been there for a while. Don't turn on your local news, turn on this news, because we know what we're talking about and we're happy to share it with you. We're going to get into things with our influencers shortly. I want to thank Farmers Insurance for your sponsorship of this segment.
My name is Patrick Ono. I'm a farmer's insurance agent. I've got many years of insurance and financial services background. And what I can bring to the table is knowledge. The insurance industry has been just as volatile. Things that you thought were normal just a few years ago are no longer normal. Having someone that's on your side with the knowledge and background and able to help, that's what I'm here for. We're here to educate and empower. Hopefully I can bring some of that to you and some of that to the group.
I got into that music.
I love it.
Right. Seriously, we are breaking history records in the last 5 years. You guys, I'm going to go backwards a second. And in 2023 in Del Mar, top sale, 44.1 million. We didn't break that record in 2024. That one happened in La Jolla at 35 million. And holy cow, September 12th of 2025, right here in La Jolla, sale at $47 million off market. They say purchasing power is gone, and I just do not see that in today's world. I see a lot of bent up purchasing power, but we'll see what our influencers have to say about that. Now, you guys, this seller, I have to bring you again back in history. They bought this piece of land for $17 million back in the early 2000s. They developed this piece of property, and it was done in 2009, and just totally knocked the charts off with a $30 million possible equity position selling from where they bought to where they sold. You guys, that's crazy, is it not?
That is amazing.
What do you have to say about that?
That is amazing. I'm wondering how they get to that value, how they get comps, and how they actually appraise that property. But this is staggering what this price is. So I'm just astounded and on how they can come up with that value.
I think the biggest thing in just researching to host today was looking at even the land. It's ocean front, but it's 0.47 acres. And I'm so excited to have the appraiser here today to talk to us about that same question.
I could
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Well, go ahead. I was going straight to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this topic today because it's so unique in so many aspects that it breaks so many rules of traditional appraising. And I'm not familiar. I'm not sure if they had the property appraised or not because it was off market, and they have the ability to waive that if they want. So I'd be very curious. If I appraised it myself, what the value I would come up at, and my first question to them is, did they even get an appraisal for this property?
Yep.
I'm sitting with the same question, and spot on right there. Claudia, what's your insight there?
Well, I think at this price point, a lot of times it's not so much about the value and getting the appraisal totally right. It's about a unique property that you really can't get anywhere else. And I mean, it has a staircase to the ocean. It's on one of the most coveted streets in La Jolla. I think they call it the Street of Dreams. And so I think you can put a price on dreams and on that kind of prestige. And so I think buyers in that price point maybe care a little bit less about an appraisal than buyers in a different price point.
Totally. Claudia, question for you, being international. Do you see a lot of international funds coming in right now to our sand?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a beautiful place, and it's still the United States, one of the greatest places to live. And I think a lot of people love to have property here and put their money there because it's a relatively safe investment compared to a lot of international locations where your money is maybe not as safe.
Totally. Dylan, with the demand in our current market, where's your head of like where you would even market if you did hit the market with this to be able to find that buyer at the $47 million price point?
Yeah, very interesting. The price point is astonishing, crazy to even wrap your mind around it. And like Claudia said, I mean, it's about what somebody is willing to pay for it. At the end of the day, real estate is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay, and that is a unique property. The buyer is from Florida. I think it just comes to show that San Diego is that top market in the country that everybody wants a part of. So
I agree. I know when I talk to people who want to invest, a lot of times they'll think, should we go to Ohio? Should we go here? Should we go there? And when I tell them to stay here, they kind of look at me cross-eyed, right? Do you guys get that reaction as well, Claudia?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, California is still, it's an amazing place and the values just hold very well, right? But I was thinking when I was reading that article, I was thinking of how fun it is to market that property and all the opportunities that you have to, do some special wine tasting. You're not going to sell that kind of house with an open house, but some really fun experiences. And I kind of thought that would be really fun. I'm ready for a $47 million listing to explore that avenue.
And aren't we all? My question is, with social media, with Facebook, with LinkedIn, with Instagram, you need to really do a lot of marketing to get that right buyer for this property. I mean, international buyers, like you said, Claudia, we're seeing a lot of international buyers coming into California, and California is still one of the best spots to have real estate and to own real estate. As you can see from, when he purchased the property, he made $30 million. So it's possible. Anything's possible in this area, right? So Will, what do you think about that as far as just, the possibilities and where people can go and what they can build to actually come up with a price like this?
Yeah, well, you make several great points there, and I kind of wanted to touch on the $30 million in equity in such a short time, a relatively short period of time, and you're really only going to see that in really a handful of markets, across the country and across the world that experience demand as well as appreciation year round. We saw what COVID did to property values here in San Diego in particular. They skyrocketed. Yeah. And I think a big reason for that is the scarcity of land. And when there's a term in appraising called the crown jewel, where basically what that means is the value is outside of what's typical for the market, and there's a reason for that. It's because this property is so much better, and what makes this property so unique is where it is. It's La Jolla. It is one of the most desirable markets in the country to live in, and if we were to, physically, if we could pick this house up and move it to, say, El Cajon or anywhere else not in La Jolla, that same property is not going to sell for $47 million. It's going to have a much lower price point. So we always hear, location. That's everything. And I think especially with this sale, I think this really epitomizes that.
Definitely. Being an appraiser, the weight of the actual appeal with a property, do you have a cash value there? Is it just you're looking at comparables? How do you figure out that appeal?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
The appeal of the property being oceanfront and being 13,000 plus square feet and all of those things, the appeal, the pool, the theater, everything that those mansions down on our coast bring, versus the ones that are 6 streets back. Is there a huge difference between being 6 and
big time? Yes. So I've done properties up in Orange County as well. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Newport Beach, but there's Balboa Peninsula there, and you have waterfront, and it's basically 2 rows of houses, waterfront and not waterfront. Same size lots, same size houses. The waterfront lots will fetch $5 to $10 million more on average.
That is amazing. That's
I
really
think back to the people that bought back in the days, right? Like talk about the
Mm-hmm.
90s and the 80s and the oceanfront prices back then and the amount of equity that people truly are sitting on at our coast. Dylan, when you look at the next 6 to 12 months ahead, where are you looking at the market and where do you feel is there going to be a shift next year? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody is watching closely. I think it's a great opportunity to buy real estate right now. Even with the higher interest rates, there's less competition. Homes may have not been going up in value as fast as they have in the last couple of years, but we're not seeing a huge correction in prices. I think the next 6 months are going to continue to be good, and home values may go up as interest rates start to trickle down a little bit. So I think it's a great time to invest, and it always is. I always tell all my clients, real estate doubles in price every 15 years. And if you're going to be buying and holding just like this $47 million sale shows, you're going to make some money.
Can you imagine the families behind that sale? And the coolest thing I thought when I was researching for today is both the buyer and the seller don't live in San Diego County. And so out of state bringing their dollars here to purchase, that just shows you the sand that we have here. Claudia, where's your insight of the next 6 to 12 months ahead?
Well, I think, so first of all, let me say, I think buying and selling real estate a lot of times is very personal too. And so regardless of, sometimes people look at the market, they're like, well, when is now a good time to buy or is now not a good time to buy? And when you look back, it's very easy to pinpoint, well, that was a really good time to buy and that was a really bad time to buy. But it's a lot harder to do that when you look ahead. And so sometimes it's personal factors. It's your own situation that makes you have to buy and not buy. And the truth is that there's sales and properties being bought and sold every month and every week of the year. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it just taking it one client at a time and looking at the market from their perspective. Overall, I think it's going to be good, but I think it's San Diego and, it's always going to be good at some point, Also, can I just really one time say the $47 million sale, 13,000 square feet and only 4 bedrooms.
Right.
How cool.
They're all their own houses.
No, there's like a spa and a spa room or whatever, wellness center, entertainment space. It's like, it's a lifestyle. It's not just a home, Yeah.
It's a castle. And what Will was saying was it's like the crown jewel. You're actually going to need a golf cart in there to go from room to room. Yes. It's so big, but it's just amazing where, the real estate is here in San Diego off the coast. I mean, just such a significant difference in value from, oceanfront versus, like you said, the ones that are behind it. So it's just amazing that the person or the family who actually sold this is just one lucky family, $30 million. And that's pretty amazing. But that just goes to show you that the real estate market in San Diego, in La Jolla, and all along the coast is alive and it's well. And, you just, if you're able to pick that right property and the right location and build on that, you can create millions for your family. So much is going into this conversation. Thank you all so much for your insights. Nicole, Dylan, Will, Claudia, all your insights were great. I'm super excited to move on to the next segment of our show with Martin, where we're going to talk about off-market and on-market deals. So let's move on to the next segment of our show, our LEARNin Local Deals.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris. And like always, my name is Martin Magana, and I'll be hosting the LEARNin Local Deals. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Revolution Capital. So here's a quick word from them.
Are you an investor and you just flipped the property and now you can't sell it? Well, I have a loan for you. I have a lot of investors who had an exit strategy of flipping a home and selling it. Now they have to rechart their course, if they can, refinance into a DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio loan. If you don't know what that is or would like some help getting out of a rut, I've been there fixing and flipping properties, and this market shifts and all of a sudden you can't sell it, so you got to do something. My name is Ruben at Revolution Realty Capital. Would love to help you out.
Perfect. So let's get started. A little bit lower price point than what we were just talking about, but this deal is on market. Typically, we like to deal with off market. Everybody wants off market, but what me and my team like to do is we also go through the MLS and find deals that might be missed by the normal investor, because unless you have a whole team dedicated to searching the MLS, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities, especially ones that have been sitting or the ones that just hit the market. So we always look to get some on-market deals every once in a while mixed in with our off-market. But yeah, let's get started with this one. It's in Rancho Penasquitos. It's right across the highway from Poway. It's between the Crestmont and the Rancho Penasquitos area. So the main gripe with this house is it's a cosmetic flip on the interior. The exterior needs the most work, I would say. The landscaping is the biggest issue, and the front of the house has the wooden shingle sidings that you need to replace. The garage has to go. The roof is original, so that has to go. All the windows are dual paned, already updated, and the flooring has been updating. But me personally, I would also replace that. So taking a look at the inside, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,593 square feet. Has a 2-car garage and was built in the 80s. It's sitting on a 6,200 square foot lot. And right now we're asking about 1.1 million, but based on the ARV and the comps, I would say there's a good amount of wiggle room, especially if the investor doesn't want it to be as tight of a spread as we think it's going to be. Overall, just like I said, the flooring is pretty good. It's really the cosmetic kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom that you have to renovate. And then most of the chunk has to go into that exterior. Let's see. And then, yeah, so the backyard's a little bit nicer. Obviously, you got to clean up a lot of that yardage. And then the back of the house is a lot better. You just got to pressure wash, coat of paint, and then redo the fencing as well. But overall, that's the deal for this week. And I'm going to open it up to you guys to ask any questions. What do you guys see? What do you guys think? And some of the things to look for when you're getting these out to your clients.
Great. Any red flags, Martin, as far as the structure, the roof, any issues with the foundation?
No foundation issues. No, never any title issues with any of our deals. And if we ever do find something in the process, immediately refund all your money, start over. We're done. We're not going to push any of that title issue onto you guys. Big ticket items, HVAC is pretty old. I would have to replace that. Roofing is original. I would for sure replace that. You might be able to get away with reshingling. I personally would not recommend that. I would 100% just redo the entire roof. So you got to allocate your budget into that. And then at the end of the day, just really do your research on the ARV, because we see a 1.3 exit here. But if you don't see that, right, that's something that I never push on people is the ARV. Make sure you're confident, your contractor's confident with what you see as your exit, because then it's like if it's already a thin deal and you're going to lose money if you don't firmly believe in your ARV. That's the most important thing. Don't let people push that onto you.
So, Mark, what would be the estimate to rehab this property if they were to do a fix-up?
So for these cosmetic flips, I like to account between, like, depending on the level of cosmetic, between $45 and $65 per square foot. In this case, we kept it at around 50 to 55, give or take like a few 5 or 10 grand because of the roof and the HVAC. But it really depends on how much you want to do into that exterior. This area is kind of nicer compared to the rest of the Rancho Penasquito area. And obviously you're right next to Poway, which is obviously a very saturated. Everybody's trying to move into there, especially because of the schooling and with the whole Apple expansion. So I would really do research on the neighborhood and what you really want the exit to be. So if you want to push for a more luxurious ARV price point, you obviously have to go a little more high end. You have to account for higher repair costs. And obviously, if you want to do a lot with that curb appeal, you're going to have to allocate a lot more funds into it. But I would typically say 55 to 60 per square foot on this house.
Martin, do you know if there's room to add on? Since it's only a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, it seems a little small for the area. Do you know if you can add like a primary suite or ADU or something like that on the lot?
Based on the layout of the home, I wouldn't add another bedroom, and the lot is not big. While it's a big lot, it's not big enough because of the way the house is sitting, because there's such a big front yard that an ADU in the back wouldn't really work. It would be very tight, and I don't think that would be permitted. But that being said, kind of like a lot of the homes on this area and this street primarily are about the same square footage. There's a lot of comps. Most of our comps are either 100, 150 square feet smaller, and then there's the occasional that's 200-300 bigger that have that extra bedroom. But for the most part, most of the things in this area are around the 14 to 1,600 square feet. But I wouldn't add an ADU in this area just because of how small the lot is. That wouldn't be the play for this one. But I know a lot of deals, if you have the room for the for the ADU, I would always recommend if it's a good ADU area, like over like in Normal Heights or in those kind of areas.
When I'm looking at that house, I'm literally flipping it in my head as you're going picture by picture by picture. And I'm just looking at it as like owner occupied 101. This is a perfect candidate for an FHA 203K. I am not a lender, full disclosure. But those rehab loans are so much fun. When my clients get into them and they are willing to take it for the team, for their own self, we're buying that house at your 1.1. We're putting the money into it from the bank. As long as I have an ARV that makes that loan work, it's beautiful. And when I look at the house, I can spend lots of dollars or I can also spend minimal dollars. So I love when I find that in flips, because when I look at your kitchen, when I look at the bathroom, those are wood cabinets. So if I don't want to gut, I can paint. I can knock out those tile counters if, I wouldn't keep them. But knock out those tile counters, put the real counters, just do fixtures and lighting. It makes such a big difference. And truly, I'd probably scrape all the floor and start over again. And that outside wood siding, it just has to go.
Yeah.
And so again, the rehab financing is so advantageous to be able to do that and let that client sit in the equity. I've used that loan so many times, and my clients are always at the end going, how did I get all this equity? I just bought a house, right? And then always the goal. I always tell people never, ever buy to count on refinancing ahead. But with those type of products, we're looking at we're staying close to you, and as soon as it's advantageous, let's make the move. But with that, Martin, the area are there certain things around that house that make it more advantageous in location than other parts?
I would just say the proximity to any highways or main roads they're kind of far away. So you obviously have that benefit. Nobody wants to buy that main road. That's always the biggest pushback we get. But the main thing here is you're in the Poway school system. So that's really the biggest selling point for this area, because Poway has, as you guys know, has one of the best school districts in not just California, but I would say in the U.S. And everybody's trying to move in there. It's one of the reasons that Apple is moving they're doing their big migration to this area because of that schooling. Because it's like, if you're going to make all your employees move across the country, move down from the Bay Area, you need an incentive, and that incentive is the school system. But real quick, I would like to actually pass it on to Will and kind of see what your opinion is on this. And when you appraise, especially on these kind of deals, how similar of a model match do you need to be able to get an accurate appraisal, if any?
So, well, ideally, we'd love to have a model match every time we appraise a property, right? But outside of a condominium or a planned development, it's really hard to find model matches. So we're trying to make perfection out of an imperfect system. We know it's a flawed system, right? So you had touched on that was going to be one of my questions was, one, what was the lot size? Can you add the ADU? And two, what is the plan for the investor? Because if it's a buy and hold flip, if they want to add the ADU and then sell it right away for profit, I don't know if that's going to match up from, a financial standpoint. But if they want to build that ADU and then put a tenant in there, at market rent, they can recoup some of that money and then sell, a year or two down the road for a profit on that project. So I think, is building an ADU the right play? I would say depends on the situation and what are your individual goals for that property. If you wanted to maybe say add an ADU, it's a little bit cheaper to go the garage conversion route, because you already have the structure in place. I believe, it's about 75% of, the normal rehab cost. But the biggest bang for your buck will definitely come from remodeling kitchens and bathrooms, because that's what, that's the first thing people see when they come into your house. It's basically what people judge you on. It's where you, as a homeowner, as an investor, that's really one of the few things you can do to actually add value to your property. Because unfortunately, we want our properties to be on par with all of our neighbors if we're looking to sell for the highest point. I don't have to have, the countertops that cost me the most to install, because somebody else, my neighbor, could come in and say, well, I don't really like that color. My wife or whomever, we don't like this. We're going to take this out. and replace it with this one. So I caution people for going, don't go too overboard on your on the flips, because you can, it starts eating away at that profit really quick.
Hey, Dylan, really quickly, what's your opinion on this? I mean, buy and flip or buy and hold? Obviously, the market has slowed down a little bit. It's turned into, a market where it's a buyer's market, and people who are flipping houses, it's taken them a little bit longer to sell these types of properties. What would you suggest when looking into this property as either a buy and flip, or maybe for buying and holding and living in that property?
Yeah, so what I see here is it's actually a good opportunity for a family that wants to move into a great neighborhood, with amazing schools. It doesn't seem like it needs too much work, but you can definitely force some appreciation through renovations over time, and then take advantage of long-term appreciation as well in an amazing neighborhood, a desirable area that's going to continue to grow. So great property.
Great point. And as far as loans are concerned, I mean, I think that they still have those buy downs available where, buyers are asking for more concessions because, they can negotiate better deals, right? So, what are some of those loans that these investors or these buyers need to watch out for?
I mean, right now we're definitely successfully negotiating through buyer credits for 2-1 buy downs. It's nice because they can get a buyer that's going to live in the property for 5 to 10 years. They can take some savings up front and get a couple of percentage points off their loan up front, and then potentially refinance within the next 2 years if rates do drop, which every prediction does point in that direction. So
fantastic. Martin, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
I would just say, going off of what you guys have been saying, kind of for a more traditional route for this property, some things I would definitely watch out for traditionally is when you get a rehab loan, especially if you want to do a lot of the work yourself. Little things you should look for is there's popcorn ceiling on some of the house. So little things that people don't know about. It probably will cost you about $2,000 for this square footage, but if they have asbestos in it, which they probably do, depending on the age of the house, it turns into like a $6,000 to $8,000 job. So just be careful. Always get everything tested, especially in older homes, because you don't want to get sick because of a DUI project that you weren't informed about, that you didn't. And then at the end of the day, just again, like I said, just really, really do your research on your comps, or have somebody help you with your comps to make sure that you're really getting the value you see here in the exit. Because I don't want to push a deal on you if you think your ARV is exponentially higher. I'll tell you, you're way too high. Even if I have to get a reduction on this because you don't see it. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work, and no one's going to push that on you. And if they do, then you got to find a new wholesaler.
Absolutely.
I think I just have a quick thought. I actually love what Nicole and Dylan said about that this might be a good project for an end user, a family. Especially in a softening market, I love it when clients look at homes that are not perfect or have some room to improve, like kitchens and bathrooms, because that's instant equity. And so if you can buy something like that in a softening market, then you kind of hedge against if the market goes down a little bit, if you put some money into it in those areas.
Yeah, and then you can make the home however you want it. If you have the perfect home at $1 million and it doesn't have the exact stuff you want, versus you buy it at 800 and then you obviously get the rehab loan and customize it exactly your dream home, and then obviously you'll save some money and you'll get the vision you wanted. And
you're in the location you want to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for all of your insights. Martin, thank you for this off-market, on-market deal. It's so great to see everybody comment on what investors and buyers need to be aware of when they're purchasing these types of properties. And again, viewers, please reach out to these local area professionals, Claudia, Dylan, Will for his appraisal knowledge. And then Martin, we need to reach out to these people to make sure that they're guiding you and that you're making the right decisions on real estate. So excited for this deal to happen for any of you all. Please, let's contact them. And I am excited to go on to the next segment of our show where we're going to be talking about events. So Tracy, we're going to be moving on to LEARNin Local events.
Hey, everybody. We are so fortunate. We have some of the best events in the industry here in San Diego, and I'm going to get into it. But first, let's thank our sponsor, Framework Accounting. Take it away.
Feeling overwhelmed with taxes and endless numbers? At Framework Accounting, we take the stress off your plate and bring clarity to your finances. From strategic tax planning that works to GAAP-compliant financial reporting, we've got you covered. Our streamlined bookkeeping and smart budgeting solutions give you the confidence to focus on what you do best, growing your business.
I'm a seasoned accountant, and I am a founder of my own company, Framework Accounting, and I'm helping individuals, families, and business owners make smart financial decisions, and especially when it comes to real estate. And I hope that I can help you guys break down affordability, tax implications, and anything about the market that's financial related.
Framework Accounting. Simplifying the numbers, empowering your success.
Hey, once again, a round of applause. Thanks to Framework Accounting for sponsoring this segment and empowering our community events with financial clarity and confidence. So next, we're going to roll right into the events. Everybody grab your pen, and these will be posted after the show. So Commercial Confidence for Residential Agents. It is sponsored by SDAR, their commercial division, CRASD. This is Tuesday, September 30th, from noon to 12 at their Kearny Mesa office location. So save the date, take a picture. They always host incredible events. And next we have the Realtors AI Playbook, Tools and Tactics for Winning More Clients in 2025, really and beyond. It is hosted by the University Club, a private club in downtown San Diego. It's exclusive VIP event for brokers, realtors, investors, October 8th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the University Club, and their speaker is an AI genius. It will be a treat. So if you have not RSVP'd, get RSVP'd. I know it's filling up quick. All right, next, what do we have? We have the San Diego Region Quarterly Update. This is a business opportunities luncheon talking about South County business opportunities. The EDC will be there, Economic Development Council. Also, the San Diego Community College District and construction opportunities. And we know construction leads to real estate opportunities. That is also at the University Club, October 14th, Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is networking, lunch, and presentation. A ton of fun. And then we have our Swingin' with Cell State. Nicole here is on the show, benefiting. Oh, can you put that up again? It is a golf tournament for big benefits, benefiting the, I might need some help on this. It's the
Warrior Foundation Freedom Station, a local community organization here in San Diego.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We got teamwork makes the dream work here, right? And that's a wrap on events. And do any of you guys have any events you want to share? I might have one more. The local caravans here, San Diego County, you can find out about them through SDAR, the local associations, NSDCAR, PSAR. They're a great way to connect, collaborate, and put deals together. So cheers to your success.
Fantastic. So this is great. We've got so many great events for all of you to network. All of our viewers can meet our local area professionals there to meet these professionals so that you can hire them to be your guide in real estate. So please remember that we are here to connect, collaborate, and create. So if you want to be spotlighted as the local area professional, the influencer in your area, please reach out to us through school. It's an app, and you need to be able to communicate through us through school. That's one of the requirements in order for you to be a part of this amazing and growing community. So download that school app, get involved, and send us your comments and be a part of our community. Now, before we end our show, we would like to get the final take or the last word from our influencers. So let's move on to the next segment of our show, our LEARNin Local Spotlight. Fantastic. It's been a great show today. Thank you all so much for being here. So before we end the show, we would like to get the last word from our influencers. So Claudia, what is one last thing that you'd like to say to everyone here based on what we've had in the show today?
It was a privilege to be invited. I'm so glad to be here. And it was so interesting to hear the different points. I loved hearing from Will about, Balboa Island and the millions of dollars that just being on the right side of the street gives you. And there's some awesome people here, and I'm super happy to be connected and to know some of you.
Yay.
Fantastic. And Will, what is your last take on the show?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me, guys. My first time doing something like this, so very exciting, very thrilling for me. Final takeaway, really, it's a great day to be that listing agent. Whoever sold that property, they're probably having a great weekend this weekend. That was one of my takeaways. But just sitting here having a great discussion with other industry professionals, getting to hear your point of views was awesome and eye-opening. So just honestly, just really thankful for the opportunity to come on here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on our show today, Will. Dylan, what was your last take?
Hey guys, yeah, thank you for having me. Excited to be part of this podcast and collaborate, learn together. I got into real estate for the people. I believe that real estate is one of the best ways to invest and protect your family, create long-term wealth. And I think San Diego is that place where it's still growing. It's still affordable compared to LA, San Francisco, but it's going to continue to grow. People are going to continue to relocate here. I love San Diego, love living here, love the people, love the city.
Yes, thank you so much, Dylan. And one of the things that you said was that property values in San Diego double every 15 years. So we're not going to see those prices again from 20 years ago. So you might as well buy something now so that you can have a legacy for your family and create wealth for your family. Nicole, what was your last take on the show today?
I think the biggest theme of today was location, location, location. I mean, we live in paradise. This is a great place to invest. And truly, your level of risk is important. The strategy that happens when you hit the market, super important. Properties that are sitting, sometimes they're not strategized wisely on the front end to be able to catch what you need in today's market. So I'm going to encourage you to reach out to a professional like who you see here today. We are in this every single day. I watch the county every day. It's a heartbeat. I wake up to succeed for my people. And truly that knowledge is so powerful. Yesterday, today, 20 years ago, the difference is you have this online world to know us now. Back in the days, you had a book called the MLS. But thank you so much for being here today and letting us be a part of this, you guys. I love being around all of you like-minded individuals and truly bringing people to a good place in our county. I know that's all of our heartbeats here as well. So thank you.
Thank you
Bravo.
so much, Nicole. Thank you for being on our show. And Tracy, last but not least, Tracy
thank you, Chris. Chris,
Yes.
The host with the most. I want to thank everybody. You're all so brilliant. You're all so fabulous and such great influencers. And I loved Claudia Graham's international perspective because she is an international woman about the world and it has a heart of gold. And, think about this. And I always take some notes after capturing everything. $47 million La Jolla sale. Does this matter for everyday buyers and sellers? Of course it does. Yes, record sales bring attention. They bring prestige for San Diego. That really spotlights the benefits of the entire market by keeping us on the map for investors worldwide. And then when it comes to whether it's a $47 million property or a $1.1 million property that Martin Majana showcased today as an off market, at the end of the day, escrow is mission critical at any level because essentially you're safeguarding this hard-earned money that buyer is bringing to the table and that the seller is looking to receive, right? We ensure the funds are compliant and protecting all parties. And that's where Tycor's expertise really shines. And we truly do care. So super grateful and honored to be a part of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you all for your insights. And viewers, please reach out to these professionals. These are the people that are going to guide you to make the best decisions in your life. And that's purchasing the most expensive investment, your real estate. Thank you all so much for being at this show. Thank you from LEARNin Local Live. We'll see you at the next LEARNin Local Live.